Hey everybody, welcome back. Today's video is all about the current trade war as well as rare earth minerals and what that means for those of us that like to stack precious metals and also maybe invest in some base and other strategic metals. Now, as we near the end of the first month of the second Trump presidency, gold, it has risen by 7% in just 30 days. Now, if we were talking about some AI stock or cryptocurrency, 7% in 30 days, that could be fairly run of the mill. But for gold, that is a substantial gain. Think about the value of gold and the history of gold. 7% 1 month, reaching an all-time high of $2,942 last Tuesday. Now, this surge in gold spot price, in my opinion, is largely attributed to the Trump administration's tariff plan, which was initially used to bring Canada and Mexico to the negotiating table on border and drug policy, but has now expanded to include reciprocal tariffs. Now, Trump successfully leveraged the threat of tariffs to secure agreements with Mexico and Canada that reinforced his border policies, but he also gained concessions from several South and Central American nations regarding his immigration policy through those same tariff threats. So I think he's going to continue to go with this. On Thursday, Trump announced reciprocal tariffs on every country that imposes taxes on the United States imports today. And this move by the market was largely seen as an inflationary one, which did, of course, prompt gold to react. And it was up about 1% last week, but again, 7% over the last 30 days. As people decide, you know what, I'm going to move some cash into this safe haven asset because I don't really know what's going to happen with the market. So it's the same old story, instability, and due to instability, the price of gold goes up. In addition to that, retail sales also declined, which is just another indicator that perhaps the economy is beginning to slow down, and we did see more signs of increasing inflation over the last several months. So gold has seen significant price movements due to all of this, although silver, which did pass $32 per ounce last week before pulling back, hasn't really done a whole lot, and platinum, well, it hasn't moved at all. Now, I believe this is a good time to sell gold if you're considering it. However, there may still be opportunities for further gains as the tariff situation develops. So that is a short-term opinion, okay? Over the short term, I think now is probably a pretty good time. Also, if you're looking to sell at the peak, that's real hard to do, okay? Things happen overnight. They happen over the weekends. So it's real hard to time the absolute peak. So take that into consideration. Now, for those of us that are still stacking and accumulating, which is probably the majority of the viewers today, I think a better buying opportunity will arise. But the same principle applies as has always applied here on this channel. If you are dollar cost averaging, which is a great way into your stack, that's just making a purchase every 2 weeks, every month, every week, whatever suits your budget and preference, then you're going to, buy in the peaks and you're going to buy in the valleys. And over time, your price averages out fairly well. Again, I don't think there's any problem in doing that. I would just stick to the basics, right? Try to buy cheap, try to keep the premium low, and don't overdo it when the prices are up, okay? Buy a little more on the dips. But whatever you do, definitely do not FOMO into your stack or out of your stack based on short-term news, because this too will eventually fade away. Now, something else that's going on outside of the trade war is President Trump's continued negotiations with Ukraine that over continued military assistance and, possible post-war aid once some type of peace treaty is signed between Ukraine and Russia, a lasting peace treaty. Of course, we don't want this to all start up again here in a couple of years. Now, President Trump is aiming to secure access to additional rare earth minerals. This is one of his goals in order to help establish a strategic stockpile of critical metals, namely those that are crucial for national defense, with an ask right now of 50% of Ukraine's rare earth metals. At first, Zelensky seemed completely opposed to this idea, but it seems now as we get closer further into this negotiation, I should say, that perhaps something could be done here. We'll just have to wait and see. Probably this week, though, we'll have a good idea. However, I was surprised to learn that the United States has no producing mines of a critical and crucial rare earth metal on its own sovereign soil, and that is one that is entirely imported from other countries today, particularly China. Now, 27% of the tungsten supplied to the United States does come from China, and as many of us know, China does dominate the mining of rare earth minerals here on planet Earth, and that, of course, presents a significant problem to the Trump administration, but it also creates opportunities for problem solvers as well as investors. Now, tungsten's unique characteristics do make it indispensable in modern industrial as well as technological and defense applications. To give you an example, it is primarily used as a core material in armor-piercing shells and bullets, as its density and hardness does enable it to effectively penetrate tank armor as well as reinforced structures such as concrete. Yep, it does. So President Trump has signed the executive order titled Unleashing American Energy, which terminates many previous presidential executive orders, including those related to the Green New Deal. For those interested in a link to this executive order, it can be found in the video description section, so just take a look down below. But I'm going to focus on Section 9 called Restoring America's Mineral Dominance, which states that the Secretary of Defense, that'll be Secretary Pete Hegseth, shall consider the needs of the United States in supplying and maintaining the national defense stockpile. Now, this includes reviewing legal authorities and obligations for managing the national defense stockpile, as well as taking appropriate steps to ensure a robust supply of critical minerals in the event of future shortages. Furthermore, it specifies that the Secretary of State shall consider opportunities to advance the mining and processing of minerals within the United States through a quadrilateral security dialogue. President Trump does aim to allow American companies to mine tungsten here on American soil. And that brings me to today's video sponsor, American Tungsten, which is U.S. stock ticker symbol DEMRF. All right, American Tungsten is on track to become the first tungsten producer in the United States, that after decades of no mining activity. The company is advancing a significant North American mine that has previously produced tungsten, as well as our favorite gold and silver, located in a region with minimal environmental and regulatory barriers. Their flagship asset is known as the IMA Mine Project. This project has historically produced 1,983 tons of tungsten and well over 300 ounces of gold, that from the 1930s until the 1980s. The Idaho property is easily accessible via nearby paved roads and is equipped with essential infrastructure, including a low-cost power supply, water rights, as well as a skilled mining labor force. Now, this project has been de-risked. That's important to me, and thanks to decades of capital investment from previous owners who did fund and advance its development, tungsten is a crucial metal for the defense industry, which does make it a likely target for the U.S. government to seek and secure a domestic supply, with American Tungsten essentially being poised to start production in fairly short order. And the Trump administration's commitment to pursuing those domestic supplies does make this an interesting, small cap stock to look into. Now, American Tungsten does have a realistic path to begin production, that's true, and it does aim to share this message with the precious and base metals investment community, which is why they reached out to me and likely others in the stacking community to discuss this emerging trend and opportunity within the mining and minerals sector. Now, to learn more about American Tungsten, please check out the video description section for direct links, or you can visit www.americantungstencore.com. All right, thanks everybody for your interest in today's video and for staying with me until the very end. And as a reminder, always conduct your own due diligence when considering any investment. All right. Ultimately, it is you that decides whether this is a compelling case or not. So again, thanks for watching. Keep stacking, my friends, and I'll see you soon with my next update.
Thank you for watching our video. I hope you subscribe to our YouTube channel.